He's covering the marijuana amendment, Amendment 3 right now. And Miguel, we've seen those numbers come in. A lot more votes still to be counted here. How are they feeling where you are?
You know, we still have a good turnout here at the Pinellas County Democrat Watch Party here, but I would say their spirits are a little bit different here, hearing the news about former President Donald Trump winning Florida here, and of course, Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna also winning here, Congressional District 13 here, bummed their spirits here. There was acknowledgement that Republicans had an advantage over Democrats here throughout the night, seeing those early vote numbers of registered Republicans who voted early, nearly 1 million over here. So they're hoping to get some wins with those constitutional amendments from Amendment 3, which would legalize recreational marijuana, and also Amendment 4, which would enshrine abortion rights into the state constitution. Earlier on here during the night, people were feeling excited. They were feeling optimistic despite some of the fact that they knew they were outnumbered when it came to those early votes. Now, Florida does have the opportunity to join nearly half the country when it comes to legalizing recreational pot here, and people here were feeling optimistic, but right now with some of these results, it's just falling short of that 60%. Still, people here say that this is a commonality when it comes to the entire country. 24 states have already realized recreational marijuana here. I spoke with a couple of voters here who had their spirits high when it came to this amendment, along with the abortion amendment as well. Take a listen to what they had to share with me just moments ago earlier on during the night.
You know, I don't think it's a dangerous drug. I think, you know, it should be legal.
I'm fairly hopeful about those two. But then again, this is St. Pete, and this is not all of Florida. I could say I'm hopeful.
A lot about how voters felt optimistic when it came to those two amendments. Living here in St. Pete, they know it has a history of leaning more blue, perhaps not so much here tonight, and they're dismayed by some of the results they've seen so far when it comes to former President Donald Trump winning Florida, and now Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna being reelected here as well. So they were hoping with those two constitutional amendments they could perhaps get those wins, because Democrats say this is something they've been pushing for. Even when it comes to Amendment 3, we saw Republicans within their own party also supporting this. Former President Trump saying he would vote for Amendment 3. Meanwhile, Governor Ron DeSantis using the final stretch of this election to campaign against this here as well. So far here, party for the Democrats still going strong, but their spirit slowly getting dimmer. When it comes to these results, they still have some hope. And of course, we'll keep you posted on those results with those two amendments right here. For now, reporting live in St. Pete, Miguel Octavio, 10 Tampa Bay.
Miguel, thank you. And yeah, let's take a look right now at the results that we're seeing for Amendment 3 when it comes to whether to legalize recreational marijuana. At this point, again, it has to get to that 60% threshold, Lars, and it's with 1.1 million vote difference. Could it still get there is the question.
Well, not with 87% of the vote in. It looks like it's pretty well baked in right now. That 60% threshold is set there for a reason. Back when they did it, they wanted to make sure that the Constitution was protected a little bit more than getting to 50% plus one. And in that light, it's doing its job. If we look at the map and see where the green is around the state and we see where the red is, it's basically the rural areas that are at that 44.3%. The more urban areas are voting for it. But the fact of the matter is, with Florida being both a rural and urban state,
right,
you're going to get these kind of results.
And when we talked about looking, this is Miami-Dade, and right now that's where some of the big no is coming from.
And that's so interesting because, again, we've seen with the Rick Scott race tonight and the Donald Trump race that Miami has really turned the corner. Where it used to be a Democratic bastion, we're now talking a more conservative area.
All right, let's go ahead and run through, if we can, some of the amendments that we're looking at. With Amendment 1, that whether school board races should be partisan. At this point, 54 to 45.
I think even the parties, the two parties, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, weren't clear on where they wanted to be on this one as well. And again, you've got to have some backers to really get to the 60% level. So while there was some out there that really wanted to make it partisan, I think the general public thought, the system's not broke, let's keep it nonpartisan.
Let's look at Amendment 2, which is that right to fish and hunt. I mean, this is kind of an overwhelming slam dunk to the state constitution right here with 67% of the vote, 83% already reporting. And essentially this just makes fishing and hunting kind of the means to population control.
Yeah,
if you
it
would.
gives them a little more rights to go out and do it when they want to do it and not have to go through the state and the regulatory boards. And so the legislature put it on for a reason. It's really interesting where the one no county is. So, you know, again, that 60% threshold, and we really didn't see much money being put behind this one, so people just went in and voted.
And here we are with Amendment 4. Of course, this is a big one. Whether to enshrine abortion rights in the state's constitution. A lot of money on this.
Oh,
Lars.
absolutely, on both sides. And this is the one that Governor
Passion,
DeSantis
too,
got very involved with and used some of the state resources to really help fight against this particular amendment. And at 57.2, close but not close enough to put it over. But it's interesting again because the solid red is really the panhandle, and it's a more conservative area in Florida. And then down in the Okeechobee area and things, that's very conservative as well.
And with 88%, I mean, to get to that, the 60% threshold is such a high threshold to reach.
It is, especially for anything that's controversial, just like we just saw with marijuana, and now this one, it would have passed overwhelmingly if it was 50.1. And so what people have to be cognizant, though, and the legislators have to be cognizant of this too, is the majority of Floridians really wanted both these amendments.
Right.
And so, you know, there could be a lobbying effort in Tallahassee. There could be people going up there to say, hey, listen to the voices in Florida.
This isn't the end.
Right. This is, you know, we didn't get to 60%, but we got to a big majority.